Hello, and thanks for joining me. We are going to do a class for folks who think they are not flexible or know they're not flexible. So typically speaking, that's folks who are just starting out your yoga journey, or you've been doing it for a little bit and are still waiting for that progress. It will come, you guys. Keep the faith, keep practicing, just keep moving. Biggest things is you want to make sure that you are not going beyond where your body's ready to go at this point. So risking of injuries and whatnot, we want to make sure that we give ourselves plenty of time to warm up that body before we get into any of the deeper poses. But there's a ton of things, guys. We just need to move. So I can't tell you how many times I've heard, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible. Well, they go hand in hand, my friends. So the fact that you are not doing yoga is not going to help you get any more flexible. So just getting on your mat, you don't even have to have a mat, you guys. So just be present where you are. Be present where your feet are. Be present. Let your mind be where you are. Let go of expectations. Let go of all of the things that you think are supposed to be happening. And just be present of what's happening. Okay, be mindful of your body, be mindful of your breath. Your breath is your biggest tool here. So we want to make sure that you are breathing slow and steady, that there's not any labored breathing or holding your breath, because holding your breath will send signals to your body that it's a fight or flight response and it's going to tense up. So those big deep breaths, that's the biggest thing. So wherever you are in the pose, be there, breathe. See if you can smile, because if you can smile, it's a whole lot better, guys, than if you're just squinching up your face and you're squeezing your jaw shut, okay? So a bottle of water handy, a towel, anything you might need, a towel, a pillow, a strap, and just a good open mind, good attitude, okay? Not a super long one, so we'll just get you started, but just, it feels so good to just move and to get those stretches in. So if seated position, cross-legged is not great for you, lots of variations. So you can have your legs out, you can have them out nice and long, you can kind of stack your feet however you want to, coming into butterfly, you can stack your legs one in front of the other. Just find some place where your body is like, okay, I can handle that. It might not feel great, but if you can just sit up nice and tall, close your eyes and give those shoulders a nice big roll up and back, letting your shoulders gently slide down and away. Close your eyes, let that tension go in the neck and the shoulders. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, turn your gaze out over your right shoulder, just letting those hands rest wherever you like. And inhale back to center. Eyes can be open or closed, and as you exhale, rotate your head out over that left shoulder, still sitting up really tall. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, lean that right ear towards your right shoulder. A little press of that left shoulder down and away. Inhale, head up nice and tall, and as you exhale, lean that head to the left. A little press of that right shoulder down and away. Inhale back to center. Now you can do these with the legs anywhere you have them, okay? So you don't have to worry about if the legs are crossed. We're going to take our hands and we're going to separate them. So if those legs are long, pick a little space between the legs and sit up as tall as you can sit. If those legs are crisscrossed, one in front, one in back. Sit up as tall as you can sit and rotate your spine, and then take your gaze out over that back shoulder. Little tuck of your chin towards your collarbone. So as we start, just moving, noticing how your body responds, how your breath responds. Now ever so slowly release that rotation, let your eyes be the last to come forward. And we take it to the other side. So hand in front, hand in back, sit up as tall as you can sit, and rotate through the spine. Taking that gaze all the way out over that back shoulder as far as you can look. Now you're going to notice too that one side you have a little more range of motion, a little less resistance than the other. That is very normal and absolutely fine. This is learning about ourselves. And then ever so slowly let that rotation release, eyes the last to come forward. Inhale, reach to the sky, releasing that right hand to the mat, left arm up and over, and we're just going to lean in. We're going to keep that left sit bone pressing to the mat as we turn our gaze to the sky. Slow and steady. As you exhale, gently release your tummy and chest to that right thigh. Relax the weight of the upper body down. So just aware of that range of motion, guys. There's no special place where you have to be. You want to find that stretch that just feels so good. I like to say kind of between a 6 or a 7, possibly an 8 on that intensity scale, but does not even have to come close to that, guys. We just want to move. Inhale, lift just slightly and walk your hands through the center. Now we're going to support with those hands. And if you have super tight hips or a super tight lower back, guys, use that support and only come as low as feels right. If it feels good to you, start to walk those hands out. And release the weight of the upper body. Now you'll notice probably that your bottom wants to lift. Those sit bones pull off the mat. I want you to press those sit bones back towards the mat as the head and the upper body are heavy. Breathe slow and steady. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. Beautiful. Bring the hands outside of the hips. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale and release that left hand. Right arm up and over. Now glue that right sit bone towards the mat. Oh, reach, 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 reach. Can you feel that stretch through the waist, through the ribs, through the arm? So good. As you exhale, slowly releasing the tummy and chest to that left thigh. Releasing the hand. Now you can support with the weight or you can relax and let gravity do the work. Now you'll notice maybe that right sit bone has lifted off of the mat. Can you get it back down? So this beautiful stretch all the way down the right side of your body and into that lower back, particularly on that right side. Inhale, lift just slightly. Let's walk those hands through to center. And again, supporting with the hands or extending those arms out. Relax the weight of your head. A little tuck of your chin towards your chest if that feels okay, and noticing if those sit bones has lifted off the mat. If they have, gently press them back down and feel that deeper stretch in that lower lumbar region of your spine. Now inhale, circle your hands back by your hips. Big circle of those arms overhead. Reach to the sky. And gently release your hands down. Let's come forward and up onto all fours to tabletop. So our tabletop position, we actually are working our core. We're lifting and lengthening out of the arms and through the shoulders, so we're working those shoulders. Always keeping that belly button drawn in and up. Cat and cow pose. As you inhale, belly comes towards the mat, but we're not going to release the core muscles. We're going to keep that core strong. We're just going to arch through the back and lift our gaze to the sky. And then as you exhale, lift your spine towards the ceiling. Hollow your tummy and chest out. Tuck your chin. And we're just going to transition between these two poses, just moving at the pace of our breath. We inhale it back to our cow. Again, not releasing those core muscles, but keeping that belly button drawn in and up as we arch the back. And then exhale it to cat. Lift your spine towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin. Just celebrating all that that body can do today. One more time, inhale it to cow. And exhale it to cat. And coming back to a neutral spine. Core is strong. We're going to extend right leg straight out. Hips remain side by side. Now, if that feels good to you and you can keep those hips side by side, lift that right leg and lower and lift. Toes are pointed. Lower and lift. Core is staying strong. Hips are staying steady. Lower and lift. Now flex your foot. Lower, tap the toes and lift. Feel that stretch to the calf. Lower and lift. Lower and lift and release it down. Center your weight. Other side, extend that left leg out. Breathe. Core is strong. Now we can stay right here and just keeping that leg long. Feel that strength in your glutes and your hamstrings as you're extending. We lift out of those shoulders if it feels right to you. Lift and lower. Toes are pointed. Lift and lower. Hips are staying steady. So we're working that core. We're tying the movements in with our breath. Unity, guys. The union of breath and movement is yoga. Breathe. One more, and then we're going to flex the foot, toe tap, and lift. Can you feel those glutes? Can you feel the hamstrings? Can you feel the strength in your belly? So we're not letting that back arch. We're just lifting the leg. One more. And release it down back to tabletop and sit it back to child's pose. Extend those arms out nice and long. Hips back towards the heels, forehead towards the mat. Nice big deep breaths. Child's pose. Hopefully a pretty relaxing place. There are some reasons where it wouldn't be. So if you've got really tight quads, the muscles through the front of the legs, that can make it challenging. Tight hips can be challenging. Shoulders not loving it, try stacking your hands. Relax the back, the head to the back of the hands, or stack your fists. So we want to find that place where it's the most comfortable. And it will get more and more so as you come back and you practice each and every time. Celebrating those little bitty steps, the ease of the breath, the range of motion, the awareness of the body and the mind. Extending those legs out nice and long, or the arms out nice and long. And then let's walk those hands up. We're going to come up onto our knees. And we're going to bring, if you need support, having something handy to you, you can use your hands down on the floor. If it's right for you, this is a great core strength and working our balance. We're going to shift and bring that right foot forward. So we're going to pull that foot back so that the knee is right over the ankle in line with that hip. Hips are square, and we're going to draw the pelvis, the bottom of the pelvis forward. So we're going to squeeze our buns and tip the pelvis. So that anterior tip, so we're spilling out. So if you visualize your pelvis as a bowl, we want to spill out the back of the bowl, not the front of the bowl. So that squeeze and that pelvic tilt. Now you might notice pretty good stretch down the front of that left leg. That's your psoas muscle, and it has a tendency to be fairly tight, particularly if you're one of those that say, I am not flexible. We're going to find all kinds of things that you may not have even known about. Now release that tension and slowly step right foot forward and lean in, only as far as feels good to you. So good, you will learn, is a relative term in yoga. It's good so long as you can breathe and there's no pain. Okay, so good is a really good stretch where you're like, oh boy, knowing the difference between hurt so good and hurt so bad. Okay, we don't want pain, guys. Extending that left arm out. Feels right to you, lift it high. A little arch back. So the more you arch back, the higher you reach. And the more weight you press forward, the deeper the stretch. Be nice. If it feels right to you, lean to the right just a little bit. Keeping that core strong. Find your breath. Inhale it back to center and rise. Now we're going to place that left hand to the inside of your right foot. Rotate your body and extend. Right arm to the sky. Reach it up as high as you can reach. Breathe. Now rotate that right palm towards the front. Reach it up and over as you take your gaze down towards your right big toe with a little tuck of your chin towards that left collarbone. Creating this long diagonal line, reaching out through the fingertips, activating muscles, lengthening, creating range of motion in our joints. Inhale, lifting that right arm back to the sky. And slowly release your hand to the top of your thigh. We press ourselves back up to our half crescent. Shifting our weight back to that left knee, pulling that right foot in, and we're going to switch sides. So that right knee comes down, left foot comes out in front. We create a 90-degree bend with our legs. So that knee is over our ankle. Hands can rest on your thighs, or you can bring them down by your side. That pelvic tilt, squeeze your bun. So as you squeeze those buns, oh, I am tight today in that psoas muscle. I can feel it. Can you feel it? Breathe. Chest is lifted. Always mindful of our posture. Always mindful of that breath. So as you squeeze and you do that pelvic tilt, we're spilling out the back of the bowl, right? Can you feel that? Ooh, that psoas needs some love today. Now gently releasing the intensity. Take a giant step forward with that left foot, and then we're just going to lean in. And you're going to lean in as much as you need to. And if you need something to balance, again, if you have a chair, a stool, something that's going to be sturdy for you to hold on to, otherwise just resting those hands on your thigh. Breathe, extending right arm out, lift it high, arch it back. Again, the more you reach back, the more you arch, the more you press that weight forward, the more stretch you're going to find. Make sure you're being nice to yourself, and a little lean to the left if that feels okay. Breathe. Slow, steady breaths. Inhale it back to center and rise, releasing that right hand, supporting with that left hand. We're going to place that right hand to the inside of your left foot. Rotate your body and extend. Left arm to the sky. Reach it up as high as you can reach. Find your breath. Now let's rotate that left palm towards the front. Reach it up and over and slowly turn your gaze down towards your left big toe. Reaching out through those left fingertips, lifting out of that right shoulder. Strong through the core, long through that left side of the body. Still feeling that really nice stretch down the front of that right leg. Inhale, lift that left arm, lift your gaze. Exhale and release that left hand to the top of the thigh. A little push back to our half crescent. Core is strong. We shift our weight back to that right knee and pull that left foot in. Bring your left knee back to the mat. Walk your hands back to child's pose. Sit bones to the heels, arms extended out nice and long, or again, you're welcome to stack those hands for the forehead to rest against. Nice big deep breaths. Arms are extended nice and long, hands shoulder width apart. We're going to lift our forehead, we're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to press and lift our sit bones to the sky. We're going to keep those knees nice and bent, and we're going to press those palms into the mat and guide your weight back towards your feet. So we're getting the length from the fingertips to the sit bones. Knees are bent. Now checking in. If it feels right to you, start to extend your legs as much as you can without shifting weight forward. We want to keep the length in the hands, in the arms, out of the wrists, and you're going to let those legs extend as far as they're ready to go. Now there might be a bend in those knees. Keep it there. We want to keep the length in the arms. So you'll notice I'm not leaning on the heels of the hands, creating that bend in the wrists, flexing the wrists. The wrists are long. That diagonal line. Breathe. So this is our down dog. Now this is a challenging pose, but believe it or not, in time, I'm not going to tell you how much time because everybody's different, but in time it will become a restful place, believe it or not. And we're just going to alternate bending knees as much or as little as you like. And as we pedal those feet, we're just getting a nice long stretch down the back of the leg. Fundamental pose in yoga. Wonderful, amazing pose to strengthen through the shoulders, actually strengthening the forearms and the wrists. That's why we really want to focus on keeping that length rather than the bend in the wrist. Too much pressure on that wrist makes the wrist not very happy. So keeping that length. As you exhale, let both heels sink. Now bend those knees and then extend the legs. As you inhale, bend the knees, and exhale, press them away. Take the gaze between your hands, and let's start to walk those feet in. Now you might notice that you can't walk your feet in as far. When you get to the point where you're like, that's maximum, just walk those hands back, bend your knees, and walk your hands back towards your feet, and relax the weight of the upper body down. So we might have a lot of space, guys. That's okay. Bend the knees. You can always use the hands to support on the thighs. If your lower back's not in love with this, make sure that the core is staying strong and engaged. And we're just going to hinge forward as much as you feel a really nice stretch through your hamstrings and your glutes. A nice release in that lower back, so not pressure. When it gets to the point, you can start to walk your hands down your shins. Maybe releasing the weight of the arms, and just let those arms hang. Everybody's at a different place. I want you to just find where it feels good. Remember, good's a relative term, right? So just that space where it feels good, where you're getting a good stretch for your hamstrings. Goodness knows we need to stretch out those hamstrings. Tight hamstrings, guys, always equals a tight lower back. Bringing the hands to the elbows if that feels okay. Otherwise, keep that support. And we're going to sway side to side. Now, if you've got support, you can just kind of let that upper body move with those hips. So it's about learning and respecting what's going on with our bodies. Challenging ourselves, but not doing stuff that was not supposed to happen today. Relax your arms and either slowly walking those hands back up to stand tall or just ever so gently rolling up one vertebra at a time. With a big shoulder roll up and back, shoulders slide down and away. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm reaches high. Lean in, our lateral flexion, just a beautiful long stretch down that right side of the body. Inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, other side, lean in and reach. Inhale, both arms come up. Pull the hands to heart center, shift your weight back to your heels and just sit a little bit down into chair. So just as we bend those knees, our weight shifts into our heels and all kinds of new things start happening. We're really working those quadriceps, our core muscles are engaged, our shoulders are staying relaxed because we don't want to cause any more tension in the neck or the shoulders. Now you might notice maybe you can start to sink a little deeper. You're mindful of the knees, you're mindful of the back, you're mindful of your hips. Is your weight shifting forward at all? If it is, stop, bring it back to your heels, lift your toes and can you wiggle them? So our chair pose, we can have lots of variations of chair. We can sink low. Don't forget that's important for form, okay? So range of motion, guys, comes. Form, you got to stay true. Inhale, reach to the sky. Interlace your fingers, all but the index finger and thumb. And as you exhale, lean to the right. Breathe. Inhale back to center. And exhale, lean to the left. Breathe. Inhale it back to center. Release your hands down by your sides. Let's turn so that we're along the mat. And we're going to open up those feet as wide as you're comfortable going. I like to call it wingspans. So if you can, with those arms extended, visualize kind of those wrists right over the ankles. If that's wider than you want to go today, absolutely. Just find that place where you feel comfortable, safe, and ready to work. Rotate palms to the sky, sunflowers. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, grand plie down. Open those knees wide. Sweep your hands down towards the floor. Keep your chest tall. Reach to the sky and squeeze your buns. Exhale, grand plie. So these are sunflowers. Active movement. Connecting that movement with your breath. Lengthening through the limbs. Squeeze your buns at the top. 2 more. Beautiful, you guys. So do a little inventory. How are we feeling? How's the body responding? Can you feel that blood flow? Can you feel that new oxygen? Just feels so good in the body. Last one. Reach to the sky. Pull the hands to heart center. Bend those knees. So we might be a little higher. You might be a little bit lower. I want you to find that place where you feel challenged, where your body's like, whoa, this is a new place. And we're firing up different muscles. Now release your hands to the insides of your thighs so the palms are resting on your thigh just above your knee. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, a gentle press of that right knee away as you rotate away from that right leg towards your left. Inhale it back to center, core stay strong. Exhale, press that left knee away. Turn towards the right. Inhale back to center one more time each way. Exhale, press it away. Inhale back to center. So we feel that nice stretch. Press it away through the inner thigh, through that spine. Inhale back to center. We lift the chest, pull those hands back to heart center, and extend those legs. Beautiful job. Release your hands. We're going to turn those feet. So top foot straight ahead. whichever way you're facing. Doesn't matter, we're gonna do both legs. So that back leg's gonna be turned, that back foot at about a 45-degree angle. If you need to adjust and bring your feet a little closer, perfect. We're gonna square the hips, facing front. Extend those arms to the sky, and then a soft little bend in that front knee. So we don't want to bend that knee a ton because we want to be able to look down and see all of our toes. If you're getting to the point where you want to sink deeper, leg comes back. We lengthen that stance, still working to draw those hips square. Breathe. So noticing the hip on that back leg, it wants to open. We're going to close it up. Pressing that back heel and outer edge of that back foot, press it into the mat. This is our warrior one. Breathe, shoulders soft. As you exhale, opening to warrior two, hips, chest, and shoulders open to the side. Our foot position has remained the same. Our pelvis is slightly tucked under and our chest is lifted. Again, if you're in a narrower stance, just not quite as big of a movement. Perfect. Form above all else. Find your breath. Release that back arm onto the back leg, front palm to the sky, sweep it up and back. Reverse warrior. So now we're working balance, flexibility, strength, all rolled into one. And inhale it back up. Straightening that front leg. Now we're just going to shift to the other side. So those toes now turn in, toes turn out. So now we're facing the opposite direction on our mat and we sink in. Again, narrower stance. Absolutely fine. Back heel pressing into the mat. We want to make sure we look down and we can see all 5 of those toes out in front of our knee. Ready for that longer stance. Make sure you can still see those toes. Breathe. So we're in our warrior two, and now we're going to transition to our warrior one. We're going to draw that back hip forward as we square the hips to the front. Now you might need to adjust your feet a little bit. Breathe. You are never stuck in a pose. Always adjust to find that proper alignment for your body. Core strong. Breathe. And again, open to warrior two. Back arm onto the back leg, front palm to the sky, sweep it up and back to reverse warrior. Lengthening and reaching through those right fingertips, left hand sliding down that back leg. Breathe. And inhale it back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, turn your toes inward. So now we have this pigeon-toed stance with our feet. Breathe, release your arms. Notice how you feel in the ankles, in the legs. Core is strong. We're going to heel toe those feet in. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Beautiful to stand tall. Inhale, reach to the sky. Pull the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach to the sky. As you exhale, turn towards the top of your mat. Bring your arms down by your sides. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, supporting if you need to, or letting those arms swan dive down to forward fold. A soft bend in those knees, supporting with those hands if you need to. Just let that upper body hang as much as possible. Let gravity do the work, guys. We're going to inhale up to monkey. Monkey, nice flat back. Fingertips are kind of reaching back towards the top of your toes, or you can even touch your shins. Nice flat back. Exhale, release it down. Bend those knees as much as you need to get the hands to the mat. We're going to step our feet back to plank. Now our plank, we can be on our toes, or we can be on our knees. Our shoulders are right over those fingertips. Core is strong. Crocodile down, elbows right by the ribs. Press it through up dog. And sit it back to child's pose. You guys are awesome. Close your eyes. Noticing your child's pose. Does it feel any different than it did the first time you came here? Hopefully we've let go of some tension. And let's slowly walk our hands up. Come over onto one hip. Sweep your feet around and slide on down to the top of your mat. We're going to bring the support behind the legs, and we're just going to slowly lower ourselves down. If you don't need that support, release that support and slowly lower down. And release. Drawing one knee in towards your chest, and then the other. Hands to your shins, just below those knees. Pull them in nice and tight. A little lift of the upper body, if that feels okay. If the neck's not a big fan, just keep that upper body down. And gently release that upper body back down, keeping that right knee tucked in. Extend your left leg out and down. Right arm extends out to a T, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and gently pull your leg across your body, keeping both shoulders on the mat. Just twist as far as your body is ready to go. So you might be up a little bit, that's okay. We want this to be this beautiful stretch for your lower back and a release of tension. Really nice stretch for that right hip. Flexibility for the spine. From that cervical spine all the way through the thoracic, down into that lumbar spine. So really just feeling that rotation and that release of tension. Again, never feeling any pain, guys. Really want to stay away from pain. Releasing that left hand, rolling it back to center. Extending that right leg to the sky, point your toes, little external rotation in that hip. So you're going to turn your pinky toe out, heel in, and then slowly lower your leg down. Now you can always bend that knee or keep it long. And we pull that left knee in. Left arm extends out to a T, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and gently pull your leg across your body. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. Take your gaze out over that left arm. Close your eyes. This should feel so good. This is a wonderful pose you can do anytime. If ever you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, out of sorts in any way, there is magic in this pose that helps just kind of make things right. Brings us back, grounds us, allows us to be present right here. Remember, be where your feet are. Keep your mind where you are. Releasing your hand, rolling back to center, extending left leg to the sky, point your toes, lengthen that leg, little external rotation through that hip, and slowly, slowly lower that leg down and allow it to come to rest. Drawing one knee in towards your chest and then the other, either rolling to one side, coming up to a seated position, or rock yourself up. We come to a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Rest your hands comfortably. Find that place that feels right to you. Turn your palms to face the sky. Just rest your hands wherever it feels good to you. If it feels right to you, a little more formal hand posture, just bringing your index finger to touch your thumb. We're going to take a big breath in. We're going to open those palms, spreading your fingers wide. Feel that stretch across the palm. And as you exhale, bring your middle finger to touch your thumb. Not too often we stretch our hands and our fingers. Take a big breath in, open the palms, spread your fingers wide. Exhale and bring that ring finger to your thumb. Inhale, open, spread those fingers wide. Exhale and bring your pinky to touch your thumb. Inhale, open, spread your fingers wide. Feel that stretch across the palm. And whatever finger feels natural to you, bring it to touch your thumb. With those eyes closed, we let go of any tension anywhere. We sit nice and tall, mind is clear. And we take a moment to thank the mind and the body, the breath, for taking us on this journey today. For maybe trying something new, maybe slowing down, allowing your body to heal, to grow, to mend, to explore. Each and every day we come back to our mat, we come back to our stretching, to our yoga. It'll be a little bit different journey, but it is worth it each and every time. Helping to leave the mind quiet, open, heart full of joy and love, attitude just a little bit better, staying present, being kind to ourselves and the world. Take a couple big deep breaths here with that quiet mind, that grateful heart. And gently open your eyes. Take a big breath in, reach to the sky. And exhale, pull the hands to heart center. I want to thank you for joining me today. If this was your very, very first yoga class, I hope it was good for you. I hope you loved it. I hope you come back and join me time and time again. Anytime, please give me feedback. Let me know what you think, what I can do to make your journey a little bit better. I just want to be here for you guys, and I just want to help in any way possible. So thank you. Be well. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back. I hope you join me time and time again. Until the next time, my friends, love and light to each and every one of you. Namaste.